This is serious. People have been hurt. People have been destroyed. Now you just want to be the lineup King Curtis, huh?
That is Jaguar Wright, and when she talks, the whole rap game gets quiet. She has named a few hip-hop's biggest names who have been hiding a deadly health secret for years, and claims about 20 more men are doing the same thing. She just won't say who yet. The whistleblower. To understand why that hit so hard, you have to understand who Jaguar Wright actually is. Before she became the internet's most feared industry whistleblower, she was a real singer out of Philly who worked with The Roots and sang backup on Jay-Z's 2001 MTV Unplugged set. She was in the room with these people, she rubbed shoulders with the same names she now spends her days calling out, and that is a big part of why so many fans hang on her every word instead of laughing her off. These days, the music takes a back seat to the mouth. XXL laid out her whole run of accusations against everybody from Diddy to Jay-Z to Common, and her public profile is built almost entirely on those stories now. She talks like somebody who was standing right there on the inside, and she has openly described herself as a former sex worker in that world before she ever got a record deal. That insider framing is a big reason her claims land harder than your average gossip page, even when she brings no paper to back them up. The claim that kicked off all the STD talk came in a real-life productions interview near the end of 2024. Sitting right in front of the camera, Jaguar claimed that Sean Combs, the man the world knows as Diddy, has been living with HIV for years while staying, in her words, undetectable. She said he faced it head up and kept moving like nothing was ever wrong with him. Then she asked the question that lit the whole internet up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? That is where it got heavy. Jaguar said she could name at least 20 men in the industry sitting in the same situation. Men she says are no better than Combs. That is 20 names she says she is holding on to, and even so, she stopped right there and refused to drop a single one of them. She made it clear she was not scared of a lawsuit either. She said she was saving the names for her own show. It is worth saying that even the Diddy part of this got messy fast. Some later reporting suggested her words may have been partly misread, with that faced it head up line possibly leaning on Magic Johnson's long public HIV story rather than a clean accusation aimed only at Combs. So even the first domino here is shakier than the headlines made it sound. Now here is the part you really need to sit with, because it shapes everything that comes after. As of right now, that list of names has never actually come out. There is no receipt, no medical record, no clip where she reads off 5 rappers and says these men are sick. What we have instead is a threat, a promise that the names are coming, and a whole audience holding its breath waiting on a drop that so far has not happened. Keep that in your back pocket, because it starts to matter more and more the deeper we go. Jaguar and Diddy. So why would anybody take a threat like this seriously in the first place? Because Jaguar Wright has been swinging at the biggest names in the game for years, and every once in a while, one of those swings lands hard enough to shake the whole room. Her main target has always been Diddy. Long before the federal case, she was telling anybody who would listen that his parties, the ones people now call freak-offs, were full of drugging and abuse. She put it in blunt terms, saying, "I have my own tapes, I've seen what they do, the ritualistic behaviors, the drugging, putting girls into suitcases, dumping them in alleyways." He called him the devil and one of the most dangerous people she had ever met in her life. She even took it a step further and claimed he was protected and molded by industry heavyweights like Clive Davis and Lucian Grange, framing him less as one bad man and more as a monster the business built on purpose. Then she went somewhere darker. In an old interview that keeps getting reposted, she pointed at the early Uptown Records crew and asked why so many of them were already gone. She lined up the deaths of Andre Harrell, Heavy D, and Kim Porter and pointed out that Diddy was one of the very few still standing. She never proved a single thing, but the way she framed it left a lot of people feeling uneasy about a man they used to admire. Not everybody is buying what she is selling though. Commentator Touré publicly poked holes in her story about saving girls from those parties, pointing out that the freak-offs described in court were small hotel room situations and not big Hollywood parties you could just walk somebody out of. In his eyes, that whole rescue part of her story does not hold up. And when Combs actually went to trial, the picture got even more complicated, because he was convicted on the prostitution transportation counts but walked on the heavier racketeering and trafficking charges. So the courtroom neither crowned Jaguar right nor proved her flat wrong, which is somehow the perfect summary of her entire career. But the moment that really tells you how seriously the industry takes Jaguar came in October of 2024 on Piers Morgan's show. And when Combs actually went to trial, the picture got even more complicated, because he was convicted on the prostitution transportation counts but walked on the heavier racketeering and trafficking charges, so the courtroom neither crowned Jaguar right nor proved her flat wrong, which is somehow the perfect summary of her entire career. But the moment that really tells you how seriously the industry takes Jaguar came in October of 2024 on Piers Morgan's show. She sat on live television and called Jay-Z and Beyoncé monsters, said the couple keep victims against their will, and claimed she knew 3 people ready to testify against both of them. It was explosive, and then it just vanished. Jay-Z and Beyoncé's lawyer, Alex Spiro, reached out to the show and called the claims totally false and have no basis in fact. Piers Morgan, on a program literally named Uncensored, edited the whole thing out and went back on air to say, "We apologize to Jay-Z and Beyoncé." Think about what that actually tells you. When Jaguar aims at the very top, the lawyers move fast, and even the biggest voices in media fold up. Some people look at that and see proof she is telling the truth and getting silenced for it. Other people look at the same thing and see proof she says wild stuff that cannot survive a real fact check. Both sides walked away from that Piers Morgan mess feeling like they had been right all along. New names. Here is the thing though, when Jaguar has actually put a name out there in the past, the men she named did not stay quiet, and how they responded tells you a whole lot. Take Common. Back in 2020, she went on Instagram Live and accused him of trying to force himself on her while she slept after a show, back when the two of them were together. Listen to how she told it.
And I open my mouth, just trying to stick his in my mouth while I'm asleep.
Common was not about to let that slide. He went on a Philly morning show and denied the whole thing, calm but clear.
I was for surely disappointed and hurt when she said what she said about me because it wasn't true.
He said he holds no bad feelings toward her, but that what she said simply was not true, and he even suggested she might be going through something he could not understand. Jaguar herself later walked part of it back, posting an apology aimed at Tiffany Haddish, who was Common's partner at the time, saying she never meant to hurt her. So you had 2 people, 2 completely different stories, a public denial, and a half apology all sitting in the same pile, with no real proof for either side. And that is exactly where it still sits today. Then there is Meek Mill. When a strange audio clip of Meek and Diddy started going around online, Jaguar jumped straight in and swore up and down that it was real. She claimed Nicki Minaj secretly recorded it at a freak-off in Calabasas and sat on it, just waiting for the right moment to drop it and hurt Meek. Here is how she put it.
You think that audio that they put out was real?
Yeah, that was him. Nicki put that out there. That Nicki recorded that at the freak-off in the Calabasas.
Meek Mill has flat out denied any sexual involvement with Diddy and clapped back at Jaguar directly. The audio itself has never been confirmed real by anybody credible. It is another claim floating in the air with nothing solid underneath it. And she did not stop at Meek either. She has also thrown 50 Cent and Soulja Boy into her stories, even naming who she personally thinks belongs in a RICO case. Watch her call the names out herself.
I'm gonna tell you who I think should be in it. Sean Carter, Curtis Periwinkle Jackson. I'm about sick of him.
Some of her shots at 50 Cent get downright strange too. In a sit-down with Orlando Brown, she hinted at some personal beef and dropped the cryptic line that Curtis has to get me a new couch, which she never really explained, leaving everybody to guess what she was even talking about. And it is not all just talk in interviews either. Singer Brian McKnight went as far as suing her for defamation over claims she made about him abusing people, which is the kind of legal heat that follows her around when the accusations get too specific. So let's bring this all the way back around. The video that pulled you in promised a clean list of famous rappers exposed for carrying an STD, but when you actually go looking for it, that list does not exist. What Jaguar Wright really did was accuse Diddy of hiding HIV, claim there are about 20 more men just like him in the game, and then keep every single one of those names tucked in her pocket. And everybody she has openly named for anything else has either denied it, fought it, or watched the claim quietly fall apart. That does not automatically make her a liar. Sometimes the loud person yelling in the corner turns out to be the one who was right the whole time. But it does mean you should treat every one of these bombshells as exactly what it is right now, which is an accusation with no proof attached to it, aimed at real people's health and reputations. That is serious business, and it deserves a lot more than a screenshot and a quick share. So, what do you think? Is Jaguar Wright a real whistleblower the industry keeps trying to shut up, or is she selling smoke to a crowd that is hungry to believe every word? Drop your honest take in the comments and let me know which name shook you the most. If you want the full breakdown of every claim she has ever made, tap the video popping up on your screen right now. Like, subscribe, and stay locked in, because if she ever does read that list out loud, you already know we will be right her. Like, subscribe, and stay locked in, because if she ever does read that list out loud, you already know we will be right here to break it all down.